The Marvels will bring a long-awaited team-up of 3 beloved MCU heroes: Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau, aka Photon. If you want an in-depth look at Captain Marvel's history with Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury, be sure to check out our Secret Invasion screen recap right here on YouTube. But for this video, we'll focus on the 3 stars of the show. Okay, let's start with the OG herself, Carol Danvers. Before she was Captain Marvel, she was Captain Danvers, a hotshot pilot in the US Air Force. But while testing out a new aircraft fueled by a mysterious energy source, Danvers was attacked out of nowhere by the Kree, an advanced alien civilization known throughout the galaxy for their military might. After a crash landing, which also took the life of the aircraft's designer, Carol was caught in the explosion of the plane's experimental energy core. It turns out that this core was powered by the Tesseract, the Infinity Stone Loki would later use to invade New York in the Avengers. The explosion gave Carol super strength and the ability to travel at light speed, but also left her with no memory of who she was. In the aftermath, she was taken to the Kree capital of Hala, where she was trained as a Kree warrior. Then in 1995, she finds herself back on Earth after another kind of crash landing. In the process of rediscovering Earth, Carol finally rediscovers her own humanity, thanks in large part to then Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury. Realizing that the Kree are not the heroes she had believed, she reunites with her best friend and former co-pilot Monica Rambeau to stave off a Kree attack and save Skrull refugees from annihilation. After the victory, Carol once again leaves her home to help find a home for the displaced Skrulls. And that's the last we see of Carol for nearly 30 years, when she shows up in just the nick of time, yes, pun intended, and helps the Avengers finally defeat Thanos. After attending Tony Stark's funeral, RIP legend, Carol leaves the planet once again, ostensibly to keep on doing space superhero stuff. Meanwhile, Monica Rambeau, who we met briefly in Captain Marvel as the young daughter of Monica Rambeau, is all grown up and doing her own space superhero stuff, sort of. After being dusted out of existence for 5 years, see Avengers Infinity War, Monica returns, see Avengers Endgame, to find that her mother has died, leaving the organization she founded in the hands of lesser men.
Maybe it's a good thing you weren't here when your mother died, because clearly you don't have the stomach for this job.
During the events of WandaVision, Monica attempts to channel her grief into rebuilding that organization, a S.H.I.E.L.D. type entity called SWORD. Get it? But Monica is frustratingly sidelined by the new director, and given what initially appears to be a mundane missing persons case out of Westview, New Jersey. But when she begrudgingly goes to investigate the case, she discovers a strange anomaly, a reality-warping hex around the town created by Wanda Maximoff, who, like Monica, is reeling from the loss of a loved one. In attempting to break through the hex to reach Wanda, Monica absorbs the strange energy and, like her Aunt Carol before her, gains some wild superpowers, namely the ability to generate, manipulate, and absorb electromagnetic energy. We've only seen hints of these new powers, but it's safe to say we're going to see a lot more. At the close of WandaVision, Monica encounters a shape-shifting Skrull disguised as an FBI agent. The Skrull tells Monica that someone wants her up in space. Who is that someone? Almost certainly Nick Fury, who has been off-planet working to build SWORD into an organization capable of protecting Earth from galactic threats. For more on that, check out Secret Invasion, which gives a good deal of background on Fury's relationship with the Skrulls and the former S.H.I.E.L.D. director's role following the events of Avengers Endgame. Speaking of another Disney Plus series, it's time we talk Miss Marvel. Kamala Khan is a Pakistani-American high schooler from Jersey City and an Avengers mega fan whose all-time favorite is, yeah, you guessed it, Captain Marvel. While navigating the trials and tribulations of teendom, she finds a mysterious bangle bracelet sent by her grandmother in Pakistan. When she tries the bangle on, it gives her the ability to create what her Caltech-bound, science-savvy buddy Bruno describes as hard light. Like Carol and Monica, Kamala is able to generate and manipulate light. But whereas Carol and Monica channel that energy, Kamala can use it to create tangible structures. In trying to understand her newfound abilities, Kamala discovers that the bangle has a long and complicated history within her family. That history is also connected to Shang-Chi in The Legend of the Ten Rings, the movie whose post-credits scene gave us our first post-Endgame appearance of Captain Marvel, and maybe even the Kree themselves, who were responsible for Danvers getting her own powers. Coincidence? When it comes to Marvel, there is no such thing. Ultimately, Kamala is able to use her powers to defend her classmates and other marginalized members of her community from the Department of Damage Control. For more on the Department of Damage Control, see Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man No Way Home. Kamala's father reveals to her that her name is Urdu for Marvel, and that she is and always has been
our own little Miss Marvel.
And just like that, a franchise is born. Oh, and it turns out that Kamala is a mutant? Yes, that's right. Miss Marvel is the project that finally put the M in the MCU. It remains to be seen whether we'll explore this aspect of Kamala's powers anytime soon, but there is one more thing that we'll definitely be exploring very soon. In a post-credit sequence, we see Kamala's Bengal powers somehow entangling with Carol Danvers, causing them to instantaneously switch places. This leaves Carol in Kamala's bedroom and leaves Kamala, well, I guess we'll find out. And that brings us to the trailer for The Marvels. Nick Fury is operating on a Sword space station when he is suddenly surprised by a floating through space Kamala. It appears that every time Kamala, Carol, or Monica attempt to use their powers, they instantly change places, which can obviously be super inconvenient. Is this a curse from another Kree fanatic? How is Nick Fury involved in any of this? What will stop all these powers from entangling? Find out all of this and more when The Marvels premieres in theaters on November 9th. And be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel for tons of wonderful MCU content.